Welcome back to the Vitesse project. In this week's video we're going to have a look at the alloy wheels and refurbishing those, the roof and messing it up but making it look a little bit more presentable, and the leaking rear brake caliper on the back left hand side. So I'll show you a basic outline of how to do that while the caliper is still on the car. All we're doing is changing the two seals inside the actual caliper assembly itself. So let's get to it. As you can see, 30 years of being on the road and 230,000 miles have not been very kind to these wheels, so of course we need to take care of that. I stripped them all back down, loaded them up with Yu-Gi-Oh cards because unfortunately I didn't have any worthless playing cards. I put some of my worst and least favourite Yu-Gi-Oh cards on there. Don't worry, I really don't like the Cyber Raider, so get rid of that guy. One of the most annoying cards out of the Dark Revelations pack that came out way back when. Got a few UFO turtles on there. I have those all around my house for some reason. I absolutely hate the things. So nothing is lost here. I never seem to capture enough of the prep work with these, unfortunately. I end up sitting there sanding them down for ages and then I don't film any of it because it's the hardest part to film and it's the hardest part of the whole job. So I didn't bother filming that, unfortunately, but you can see we've already started to layer up the paint and it's just looking pretty nice compared to how it used to look. I was going to cover all four wheels, but you sort of get the gist of it really. I also tried to cut a little stencil out of masking tape for the black logos on the wheels that have been sprayed over. Unfortunately that didn't work. Easiest way though to do that, so I've been told, is get some Tamiya model paint in black, get a little model like a brush that you'd use for an airfix kit like an aeroplane, and just brush that over. Apparently it works really well. Some people on Facebook groups and the forum have said it works well, so that's fine with me. I obviously ended up acquiring a brand new set of these, so I didn't bother with that. Out of all the things I've done with this car, I'd say these turned out second best, so I'm really happy with that. So I thought I'd show this anyway, even though it turned out to be an absolute disaster. So I didn't do the prep work I needed to, and I ended up spraying over 120 grit sanding marks. So very rough surface with normal paint, not filler primer. If I'd done filler primer it would have turned out pretty well, but unfortunately I messed that up. I'd rather show you these mistakes. I'm not the type of guy that hides things. So here you go. This is my disaster, the absolute disaster piece of a roof that I did. It's sorted now though, in a sort of basic sort of way. It passes as a roof, so we're alright. It would be a good idea, now that I've got the wheel off, to coat some of this stuff so it doesn't look shit and rust loads like that. So yeah, I've got some of that Holt stuff, wherever that is. Underguard, no, it's Simone's Underguard. And I think that would probably benefit me a lot. Also, I'm doing this next to a bloody road. So, fingers crossed, eh? So now that we've taken the wheel off, you can see the extent of how bad this is leaking. We need to take these two for the sliding thingy mechanism. We also need to get the right size thingy so we don't get stuck in here. Yeah, this, once these are taken out, should just slide apart. So you need that bolt there and the same on the other side. And there is the piston leaking. It looks like that outer seal has corroded and is letting, whoa, yeah, is letting all the brake fluid out. So we need to pump the brakes and then it'll get it off the pedal. And then eventually, when we go and have a look, it should have started to come out a bit further. And then we just keep doing it until it comes out. see there that that is nearly done with. So this isn't actually too bad, it's just where the seal has gone, so I'm probably going to clean this up with some Brasso and then put it back. But yeah, looking pretty good, I guess. It's just that little tiny, you can see it there where it's lifted up. I'll just zoom in, there you go. That's the little square profile seal, and that is the thing that has gone wrong. So we're going to clean this up and replace that. Of course, you've got to put this seal over this one, so when it's in use it operates like that. As the caliper gets pushed out, the piston sorry gets pushed out, just that. So you basically got to get the top of the seal in that little indent on this new one here. See there is the new square profile seal. There's basically like a little indent where it goes, and then you just slot it in there. So it's fairly straightforward. You just got to make sure it's flush and try not to score the sides of where it is, so it won't end up sealing properly if you do that. So use some tweezers, but just try not to rub against it. So with my brake calipers, I'm not sure if you can see this, you effectively have to wind them back in because they're on like a screw. Normal brake calipers, you just sort of line it up and push it in. But this, they're a bit different. Then obviously you've got to get this little seal and push it in through this little chamfered edge, and then they will be wound completely back in and you'll form a nice seal. There we go. So these have now been wound all the way back in, I'd say, nearly. They need to just be facing, there we go, wound all the way back in now. So now I just have to get a flathead screwdriver and just push this little edge you can see here, push that into there, and then we'll have a seal. Let's get that. Wow, so anyway, the first thing I did is obviously put that in the last bit of the seal, but that didn't work for me. So I actually just wrapped it round the actual piston and left this bit off, this top seal here, but put that bottom seal in before actually sliding and twisting the piston in, and then put that one on last. So that's a quick tip, but we're on now, so now we'll just have to clean it and put it all back together. So here we are so far. We've got one arch done, and that bit of the door which looks awful. It'll probably blend a bit better after polishing, but I'd say I've done a decent job. It's not going to win any awards, except for the biggest shed, obviously. And we're handing over to the professionals tomorrow to do this, replace this badge as well. We've also done this rear arch / quarter panel area. Again, it's not the best, not going to win any awards. I'm not going to show you closer because you'll probably think it's shit, but it's better than it was, eh? So who cares? This arch, completely fine. Doesn't need anything doing to it. This one did an alright job. Not as good as I hoped though. Still, pretty damn good. It's like it's got a really shit arch extension. And like, you know what I mean? Because that's obviously me and that's me again. It's like it's, yeah, the lines flow very nicely. So it's like old and horrible, new and horrible. So that is that. It's looking okay, still sort of drying. I need to sort that line out. I'm going to repaint this silly pinstripe because that's like my favourite part of the car. This is done. You can see I've painted that there as well. Looks pretty good. But yeah, I'm handing this tomorrow to have all this respray. And naturally this looks flipping awful and I can't do anything about it, and again, because obviously there's my work there, I don't really want to have to do it and then have the embarrassment of taking it. And then again, this is going to be embarrassing when he sees this. Like, where'd you get that done? Tom's Garden Body Shop. Yeah, just remember guys, it's not about the filler on the outside, it's about the filler on the inside, and I've got a lot. We've taken the instrument binnacle surround thingamabob instrument panel with buttons on, and this, now that it's been sat in the sun for ages, is so easy to push down. So we have our G clamps, this as well, so we don't mark the top of it, and we're basically just going to stick some of this in it, in and around all this area that's lifted as deep as we can, and then squash it down with a G clamp. So let's see how we go. As you heard in one of the last clips, it was absolutely blistering in the car, but I don't think I could have picked a better day to do it on. I faced it in the sun, as you can see, and I literally let it bake there for a good hour, and then we went in there and obviously did what we needed to do. It's way better than going in there with a heat gun or a hairdryer and wafting it for ages outside your house. Much better. I think I would have done a lot differently though. I think I would have put a bit of wood over it like I've seen a lot of people do on the Facebook groups and the forum. I think that would have worked out a ton better. Obviously this isn't final. A lot of little things like this will end up getting redone anyway because I'm quite particular about stuff. So here we are, doing pretty well. Unfortunately it's a bit messy, so I'm gonna have to tidy that up, but I'm probably gonna have to leave this quite a while, and I'm probably gonna have to keep doing it like a bit at a time. So back, middle, then the front, because of course it starts to lift again at the front. So I just need to keep redoing it. So I'll let you know what it looks like when it's done. As you can see, we've done quite a number on this. I'm pretty pleased about it. We're just not completely screwed in because we're actually missing 2 screws. We were, I'm technically missing 3. No, we're not. We're missing 3. Yeah, we're missing 3. But I thought it would be better just to put 1 there, 3 across there. Yeah, cool, that's flapping about a bit, but don't look too bad. Can't really notice it unless you open the door and look, and it looks horrible. But yes, the question is, will it clamp the air vent bit? Because I am pretty annoyed about seeing that saggy ass bit. It really annoys me. Don't understand why, because I'm a bit particular. This has done wonders though. It doesn't look, of course it's not immaculate, it never will be, but damn, that is good. That looks really nice. So of course we've got to fit that back onto there, which obviously joins these bits together. The nice lined thing, wherever the hell that's gone, it should be in here. Yes, there it is. So that goes in there like that somehow, some way, and then we start to look cool again. Hopefully you don't have to take this off to put it on, because I really don't want to have to do that again. Oh no, hold on. It goes in that way, and then, oh shit. Oh yeah. We'll focus on clamping this now. So we're just going to get the G clamps out, fill that with our lovely Gorilla Grab adhesive, and then leave it overnight. So let's get to it. So there you have it. This, once it's done, should look a lot better. So you will join me in a day's time when I take it off and refit this little asshole. So I just wanted to say at this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone that watches, subscribes, comments, everything. Subscribing and everything really helps me out, and I love numbers. I'm not good at maths though, only got a C. So big ups to everyone that subscribes, likes, comments, everything. I like hearing from all of you. As you can see, I've run out of footage. I didn't want to leave this on just me getting attacked by a wasp, so here's a picture of my car in front of the Rover approved parts store, B&Q. And I just thought I'd say at this point in the video, this car, as much as I sort of slag it off, is a really, really good base. I couldn't have picked a more perfect car to learn with. The rust, yes, there's some, but it's not horrific. The paint, yes, it's bad, but it's not horrific. Well, my work's horrific, but no, I'm joking. I think I'm doing pretty good, and I think I'm learning a lot from this. So if there's any takeaway from obviously these videos, these aren't instructional. This is just obviously a progress of what's happening with this car. And if you can just see an idiot learning how to do things, and that's what I want everyone to sort of take away from it. So yeah, that's about it really. The car is looking a lot better. I got the bonnet resprayed, which I'm absolutely chuffed with, and we are going in January to have all of the doors done, the sides all done, and to be painted by a proper person, and the roof's getting done, and the aperture's getting done as well. I think we've got 2 more videos in this little series of me doing it myself, and then we'll have the finale, the grand finale of the car itself being completed in January, which I'm absolutely looking forward to. So thank you again for watching, and keep watching.